Hi guys, it's Whitney from All the Shelves here with my weekly comic recommendation, and this week I am recommending Beyond Belief. Here's issue number 1. And here's issue number 2, and the third issue actually comes out today, so if this sounds interesting to you, you can actually go to your comic book store and pick up a number 1 on the day it comes out, which is super cool or super nerdy, depending on how you look at it. This series was inspired by a podcast called The Thrilling Adventure Hour. It's a podcast on the Nerdist Network, and I've actually never listened to it, but I've read about it, and it seems to be one of those old-timey type radio shows that have actors presenting fictional stories with all the sound effects and everything. And that kind of like vintagey classic tone really comes across in these comics. So the story is about this Nick and Nora Charles inspired couple. Nick and Nora Charles from the Thin Man series by Dashiell Hammett. They're like this married couple who solves crimes together and kind of quips back and forth and have this really fun dynamic. Beyond Belief takes those two characters and injects a supernatural element into that story. So these two, instead of solving crime stories, solve supernatural stories. So there's like all these demons and things, and they're trying to put things to rights. What's so great about this series is that it is really, really funny. I very rarely laugh out loud when I'm reading. I think laughter for me takes a kind of audience participation. But when I was reading this series, I started laughing out loud at how ridiculous the demons that they fight are. So in the very first series, they see all these creepy dolls, and the first thing that you expect is for them to be like terrified of the dolls, but instead the woman is just like, oh, I love dolls, and kind of gathers them up, and the dolls start doing like demonic type things, and she's just like, oh, stop it, like why can't you just be a regular doll? So this is at the very beginning of the story, and you can see here that they've got like the demonic dolls, and you know, they look like they're going to be afraid, and the dolls get like scarier and scarier, but then she just runs at the camera yelling, "Dollies!" Like, it just cracks me up for some reason. I love that subversion of the horror tropes. They're completely unafraid of demons. They're total alcoholics, so they're drinking the entire time. Their relationship seems to be based on drinking alcohol, and they just make the best jokes as they go along. It took me a couple pages to get into this. I wasn't quite sure if I was liking it, but after those few pages I realized that I was totally loving this tone, and it's a really funny parody of both detective fiction and horror fiction. So if you decide to pick up Beyond Belief, let me know. I'd love to talk to you about it, and I will see you in my next video.